Well, hello, all you knife enthusiasts from around the world. Hola. This is an open tag started by GR Knives. It is Show Your Wood Knives, and I could probably break this up into 4 or 5 episodes, but I'm just going to show them all at once. Tired Tiger Woods over here is joining because he likes wood, because he's made from wood. That's what Mo calls him Tired Tiger Woods. So let's start it off. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. I'm going to start off with my moderns. Petrified Fish. This didn't have a name, it just has a number. It is PF719. This is sandalwood, they call it. Now, they were all a little different, mostly stripes this way, but this one I thought was very unique. I bought a couple. I kept this one and gave to the other one to a friend. It reminds me of desert ironwood with the wood grain in there. Very cool. Very nice action. 12C 27 Sandvik. Another petrified fish. All these knives I've done videos on. This is the Scholar in 154 CM steel. Very nice knife. Desert ironwood. Titanium clip. You could get them in white G10 and olive wood. The olive wood also looks really nice. But I figured if I'm spending the money, I'm going for the desert ironwood. We got the Orion Cetus here. This is, oh man, of course I can't think of the name right now. I can't think of the name. Anyways, it smells like cedar, but it's not cedar. Oh, of course. Beautiful, beautiful scales on this one. Nice knife. This is 14C28N. And my last modern knife would be the Roper. The Warrior. This is D2 steel. I'm not sure what the wood is on this. It doesn't look like zebra wood. It kind of looks like a rosewood. I guess I could have went to the website and looked it up first. It's very nice action, very nice wood. There are my 4 moderns. Let's move on to buck knives. Got the Buck 110 120th anniversary edition of buck knives, not the 110. This is ebony. Nice dark ebony. I can compare it to my Arthur Wright & Son ebony in a second. Also another 110. This is the Alaskan Guide series in S30V. They call this rosewood, but I'm not so sure. It doesn't look like all my other rosewood. I think it is wood stained to look like rosewood, but I could be wrong. It almost looks like an oak that has like a red rosewood stain. Again, I will compare this to my Arthur Wright. I'm sure rosewood comes in many flavors. The Buck 117, the Grail knife I've been wanting for a while. This is in D2 steel, just released. This is in Cocobolo. Looks different than other Cocobolo I've seen, but they say it's Cocobolo. I'm going to take their word for it. Love this knife. Same size as a 110, but the blade's longer, handle smaller. Put it back in the sheath. It's very sharp. I was going to do a video last night on it and release it today for my Fixed Blade Friday, but I've been lacking sleep, so I just went to bed. Those are my bucks. This is another made in the USA knife. This is the Wesson. It's called the Henry, made by Wesson, and it's cherry wood. This was one from Big Red Saturday Knife Live. Very cool knife. Also in 14C28N. Cool knife. Let's move on to my Made in England knives. Arthur Wright & Son. I think I have 5 of them, but I have 3 that are in wood. The first one I picked up was this sheep's foot. Large sheep's foot, excuse me. This is rosewood. And you can see the difference in the rosewoods. So I don't know anything about that. I used to be a wood expert when I was into wood sailboats. But very cool pull on this. Oh, man. Carbon steel. Sheep's foot because it's smaller at the tip here than the back. So not a lamb's foot, not a ram's foot. It's the opposite. It's the sheepy. Here we go with another Arthur Wright & Son in ebony. I figure I'd sport $5 more. I think that's all it was because I had a rosewood already and I got the Barlow. Now there's a bunch of oil and wax on these blades. Also, very cool Barlow, very affordable, great walk and talk. I'm still getting grime. I recently just oiled them up. Grime's coming out of them. Look at this ebony. Very similar to the Bucks, just not as much. Very similar. The grain on the Buck looks a little bit more porous than this. But who knows, maybe they throw a bunch of wax in it. I sure did. Yeah, very close though. The ebony Barlow. Also Arthur Wright & Son, which I haven't showed any of these tang stamps. They called this one, this is the Hawkbill. I love how it has no nail neck. And I also like all the oil pouring out of it. Rosewood, but look how dark this is. It's almost an ebony color. And then look how light this is. Almost a whiskey barrel oak. So I'm taking their word for it that it's just rosewood, and natural materials. They all look different. Let's get in on that tang stamp. There we go. A. Wright & Sons, Sheffield, England. Very cool knife that I have not used that much. My Arthur Wright & Sons are kind of safe queens now. I do occasionally carry them. This is a great one. Very affordable. I think it was under $40. Okay, let's go on to my cheap Chinese made in zebra wood. I've showed this before. This is an ABKT, American Buffalo Knife and Tool. This is a Roper Trapper. I really like different colors. You can see the deer on the zebra wood. It's carbon steel. The side's a lot lighter. Clean back springs on this one. Trapper, 3-bladed trapper. I've showed this before. You got the clip point. You got the gut hook. And a bone saw or just a saw if you need one. It's a very cool one. I highly recommend it if you can find them. Another ABKT. This is a Cattleman's Cutlery. Just showed this in my trapper video. This is the Chuck Wagon. And it comes apart. So you have a separate knife and fork. I'm not going to do it again. I love the ping when you close the knife or the fork. Ready? Very cool. I love how you can just oil up the wood. Looks beautiful. This is zebra wood. I wonder if zebra wood's, a more affordable wood to make knives out of because these Chinese ones have a lot of it. This is an E.C. Simmons made by Frost. Years and years ago, E.C. Simmons was a hardware store and they made knives in America. This is also in zebra wood. Now, when I bought this, the shield in the pictures was completely different. It was like a New Orleans style shield, but kind of cool that this came with a little different one. This is the saddle horn. Great half stop. Great snap on this. I had to pick these up because I have two other saddle horns and the centering was perfect. This one, they're slightly off, but not rubbing too bad. Got a Skinner blade. So out of all the saddle horns, this is probably the weaker one on the fit and finish, but it's nice to have one in wood. Doesn't that snap? Very cool one. Okay, we're getting down to the end here. So this is a silver horse. They call it Stoneworks because it has some fake stone in here. You can see the bolsters are like etched and painted. There's like texture to it. But this I thought was black bone, but no, it is not. It is like black Packawood, which they probably just put a black stain on it. But had to include it because it is wood. It's kind of a case copper lock pattern, obviously. Very affordable. Cool knife. Now, not quite the quality as a case copper lock, but I love it. Very nice knife. And last but not least, my knife. I have no idea what wood this is. It almost looks like a cherry wood. Who knows? It was a gift from my grandma or grandpa. They lived in Arizona. I was actually born in Arizona. Monument Valley is in Arizona, in case you didn't know. This is an SD Classic ripoff, made in China. And it's just not quite as good as an SD Classic because it has no tweezers, no toothpick. It's got a nail file, small blade. You know, it's a touristy knife when you're at the Grand Canyon or whatever. They probably have these for sale. And that is my last wood knife. I am throwing in an honorable mention. This is a pen made out of black palm. Now, if you guys don't know, Pacific Northwest Fun Stuff makes these. He's kind of across the water in the Bremerton area, I think, or Port Orchard. He hand makes these. He makes them all the time. He gives them to Big Red EDC, and Big Red gives them away in the giveaways. I'm sure you could purchase them. He is on Instagram. This is the first one I won. I won a red cedar that kind of had like a spear carved into it. And I kept it for the longest time, and I just used this one more, and I'm like, I don't need 2 custom wood pens, or do I? But I had to send it to Kirby Creek Mo because he's a carver himself, and I thought it would be really cool that he would have a custom carved pen. That's it. There are my, 15 or 16 knives and a pen. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tired Tiger Woods, really enjoyed it. You guys have a fantastic Saturday. Stay sharp and be kind.